What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. I enjoy making these videos right at the beginning of the new day. I think that it really provides some clarity. Oftentimes we do get our daily closes, and that can help us, right? But also I will say that it is a bullish engulfing candle. Yesterday, what we saw, it was below average volume. My video that I made, my last video that I made, was literally at the high. We were quite literally at the high of that day, and I was telling you guys that if we were to go higher, it wouldn't be too much more. But we were looking death in the face. At least for the bears, we were looking death in the face. For the bulls, we're looking glory in the face. And I was saying, nope, we're still going down to 72 to 73K. I don't understand. I do understand. I shouldn't say I don't understand. It's just I remember what it's like in my first cycle, right? And a lot of you are probably in your first cycle, especially the people who are wanting me to be wrong for whatever reason. Maybe you have your own biases to see this price go up. I remember what it was like to be excited over a 3.5% day to the upside, right? All we did yesterday was move up 3.6% if we're being honest, right? That wasn't significant at all. Yes, it's a bullish engulfing candle, but the deal is, man, is we've had bullish engulfing candles before that have amounted to nothing. We've had bearish engulfing candles before that inevitably led to something but didn't amount to anything in the immediate term. Bitcoin likes to trick us. And looking past the very obvious, if we look at what we've done at a closing basis here, is we just closed right at prior areas of support on a closing basis. So we literally found resistance, potentially, at an area that we once found support at, right? Here, we bounced up over the coming days. Here, I'm sure we will continue to drop over the coming days. I'm going to say the same thing that I've said probably over the last 2 days, or maybe even since this day here, which is that every day that we move higher, every day that we do not move below this low, is another day that it's going to take for us to be done with this drop, right? I want you guys to understand something about me. I don't care if we move up. I hope we move up above 91K. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. I pray for it, man. I hope that we are above $91,000 tomorrow, and that we all get to laugh at the notion that I ever thought 73 to 72K could happen. I wish that's what happened, okay? But nobody cares about my wishes. The market doesn't care about my wishes. They don't care about your wishes either, okay? What I want more than anything is I want this drop to be over. I've said this a couple times, right? If this was the high, let's pretend this was the high and this is the low. I don't think it is low. I think we go lower, but let's pretend that was that. Would it not be easier to have just gotten it over with and then started working your way up from there than going through all of this boring time and volatility just to hit this, right? I would rather just rip off like a Band-Aid, just get it over with, get down there, find the low, give us something productive to build from, and then we can start talking about higher prices, right? Until then, every single move up is just discouraging to me, not because it's going to invalidate me. I don't think, first off, again, I don't think that a 3.6% day is anything to get excited for validation of this being a low or invalidation of going lower, right? It's nothing to get excited for. The only time that it's time to get excited is if we do close a day above $91,000, right? And we can see that here on a daily closing high, just above or just below 91K there from a low to a high. We can see that here on this 236. I think 91K is an important area to get above. We can also see it on this one from a low to a high here, that the 886 is right there at $91,000. It's a very significant level. Why is the 886 important? Because anytime you see these extended areas, oftentimes it is once you get above the 886 that you start to retrace and see prices that are higher than where the original fib retracement started. Not always. Technically, the 618 is the last boss, but if you start closing above the 886, especially when you're this deep, it's time to get excited. However, what we've done, again, is we're finding resistance here now at the 1272, an area that we once found support at. We hit the 1618, found resistance at the 1272. If we go lower, and I think we will, that gets us set up for a prime position to go to the next fib area. We found support here at the 1414, right? Went up, found resistance at the 786, and then came down, actually all the way up to the golden ratio, came down and went to the 1618. On a closing basis, yes, on a wicking basis too. Now we're at the 1272. The next likely area would be the 1886 to 200 area, okay? I'm going to delete all these white lines so the chicken scratch is gone here. That would imply that Bitcoin drops, and I could be wrong on the 72 to 73K drop. Maybe it goes to 74.2K. Maybe it goes to 68.5K, right? I'm so focused on that and it's okay to be focused, and it's okay to believe and have conviction in what it is that you're saying. But it's not okay to be blind to the thoughts. And this is where, to the trolls out there, to the haters out there, I know that you, for whatever reason, have your vendettas against me, and that's okay. But don't let your own personal BS, don't let that get in the way of you making good decisions. If you're just here to troll, you're just here to have fun and talk smack on the internet because you got nothing better to do with yourselves, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. but please don't let that interfere. I want to see everybody make money. I don't care. I don't care if you're hating on me. I don't care if you're loving on me. We're all in this game together. We're all probably, most of you that are trolls, you're probably good people, honestly, and you're just having fun. Maybe you're having a bad time in life, or you're in a shitty position in your own life, and you have to take it out on somebody who's not. I don't know. That might be it. Maybe you're in a good position, and I don't know. Most people that are in good positions in life don't do that kind of stuff. So that's, I feel for you. I feel for everybody. Whether you're in a good position or a bad position, we're all here to make better positions for ourselves, and I want everybody to do that, right? Don't let your emotional biases towards me, whether you like me so much that you'll just blindly listen to anything I say, or you hate me so much that you'll inverse everything I say, don't let that get in the way of your own intelligible knowledge and what you see in front of you in the charts, right? What we're seeing here, make no mistake, is deconstructive behavior on the fibs. You don't like the fibs? Okay, cool. Take away the fibs. You're finding resistance at prior areas of support. You dropped through your whole consolidation phase here, and where you found support with the fibs out of the equation, where you found support doesn't make any sense at all. Why would you stop here and find support? Well, the only thing that I can make sense of that would say that you find support here is the fibs. But wait, you didn't want the fibs, so you can't use this as an area to actually argue that you're finding support, but it is at the golden ratio, to be completely fair. Likely, from a price perspective, from a very fundamental perspective of technical analysis, this is what you call a dead cat bounce, where you bounce in the middle of nowhere. You're bouncing because you dropped so much that you need a little bit of volatility in order to go up. Don't let your emotional standards, and I can tell a lot of you are emotional, not the fans, not the people who are kind in the comments. You guys, I can tell you're very well composed, but the haters, you guys are, it's not good to be emotional in this game. Okay, it's okay to troll, it's okay to hate, it's okay to do all that stuff, if you want to do that, whatever. But don't let it screw you up, man. The minimum target that we're going to go to, if you look at this, the only sensible thing would be to consider something below 74K. If you go on a weekly high close, that would be over here at about $71.2, $71.3 thousand. Likely, this low makes no sense at all. Taking away any indicators that I use, just using our seeing eyeballs, I would assume that we do go below 74K. And until that happens, we're not done dropping, right? Just like here. Where did we find our low right here? Well, we wouldn't have found it right here. That didn't make any sense, right? There's no reason to find it here. We had to go down to where our prior area of resistance was, right? Whenever you go back to the prior cycles, right? Where did we find support? Well, we did find support here, and to be fair, this actually could have made sense, to be completely fair, right there. But relative to this move, it doesn't make as much sense. You found support right at the prior areas of resistance that you consolidated from, right? That's where you found support. When you found support in the bull market, in the bear market here, did you find support here? No, of course not. You came down and you found support at this previous area of resistance, previous area of support here, something that was more significant. It doesn't have to be complicated, right? You don't have to use all the indicators or anything. There's people that don't use indicators, and they just look at the price, they look at the volume, they look at the time frames, and they are successful traders, right? But they also are probably not novices. They've got a little bit of experience, right? Some people, like myself, they start off using a bunch of indicators, and then they refine it to where they only need one or two or three, and they check in on some here and there, right? And some people, like, you figure out that it's actually less cumbersome to use a minimal amount of indicators. Keeping it simple really is the way to go, because at the end of the day, people overcomplicate things with their emotional biases, with their personal biases, and then with the indicator biases. You will pick out things, cherry pick things that look good or respect the direction you're looking for, whenever you don't have to do any of that. It could just be as simple as, hey, look, we broke this consolidation phase to the downside. It's very simple. It's not hard. It's not a hard conclusion to draw at all. We're going to interact with the resistance areas. Of course we are. Of course we are. Could we go below 70K? Of course we could. I don't think we will. And this is where a little bit of fine tuning can come into play. I know some people are having fun with the bullish butterfly. Yeah. I know it sounds funny, but in my experience, and not that I have the most experience in the world, but I'm going on 9 years now, just over 9 years of technical analytical experience. I've got much more time than that learning how to speak English, and I still don't have that down. That's from a low to a high, going to the 786 like that specifically. That's the first indication of a butterfly. It's perfect. Look up bullish butterfly. Look up the schematics for it. Tell me I'm wrong. From a high to a low, you go to the 382 to the 886. Where did you stop? Just below the 886. That's the secondary requirement. Perfect. The next requirement would be from a low to a high here, that you go to your 1272 to your 1618. 1272 to 1618, 74K to 69K. The reason why I'm not taking the other, there's another side of this where you would take this low to this high here. The reason why I'm not taking this is because the outliers there, it'd be between the 1618 to the 2618. It outlies the other parameters, so we're not going to look at that. This is our target zone. And again, harmonic patterns, at least in my experience, are rarely misleading. Like they're a 90% or more success rate if you identify them successfully. And you might hear that and be like, nothing's that good. Nothing's that good. How could you ever know? Well, the thing is with harmonic patterns, you don't know that you're in a harmonic pattern here. How would you know? You don't know that you're in a harmonic pattern here. It's only after this peak that you could really assume that you are. And even then you have to confirm that it's a peak. So by the time these patterns are essentially perfect, that's the only time that they can actually properly be identified, which is why they're oftentimes so accurate and helpful. Harmonic patterns are only understandable if you use fibs. So if you think fibs are BS, harmonic patterns are going to be BS to you too. But there are a lot of successful traders that use harmonic patterns. They are not common and they're also not rare. They happen, you know, maybe I shouldn't say that. They're fairly common, but they're not everything is a harmonic. Some people think that certain things are harmonics that aren't harmonics, but enough talk about that. I'm not here to educate about that. I'm just here to tell you what I think the price is going to do. Right, 84.2K. Likely we're going to drop another $10,000 or more. My specific target is 72 to 73K, and my specific goal is to encourage you, no matter who you are, to do the best thing for yourself financially, right? Don't let your emotions get in the way. Don't let your biases get in the way. Look at the data in front of you. Just be real with yourself, okay? And if you want to make your jokes, you want to make your kind words, whatever, it's all appreciated. Thank you. But don't let it get in the way of doing the right thing for yourself, right? If you're buying here or if you're going long here, you're going to get wrecked. And maybe not even buying. If you're spot buying, you're going to be fine. In time, you're going to, I mean, this is a really good price. We're below 100K, you guys. In 10 years, in 20 years, whenever we're all old and dusty and whenever we're dead and our families carry out our wealth for us, you know, we would pass it down or whatever, they're going to look back at you and be like, wow, how is your grandpa? How is your grandma? How is auntie or uncle, whatever? How are they so smart to buy Bitcoin below $100,000, right? It doesn't seem like the most obvious thing right now, but even here at 84K, it's a really good price, okay? We are below 100K. This thing is a animal of its own right, and with time, it will only go up in value. So you can wait. If you buy here, you can wait for the drop. That's fine. Buy here. Just don't sell here. Okay, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I wouldn't say buy here. I would definitely not say sell here, even though I am expecting it to go down. What I would say is just wait. Wait for the opportunity to buy at lower prices. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want. You're big boys, you're big girls, right? At least you talk like it in the comments. And if that's the case, you know, if that's the case that we do go down, you'll be glad that you didn't buy here. Even if you don't sell, even if you want to sell here and we go down, you'll be glad that you didn't sell, because in time it will pump still and you can still always buy more. The reason why you don't sell is it's good practice, okay? Because maybe you're right this time. Maybe you're right and it goes down here if you sell. Maybe you get lucky and you do it right, okay? But maybe you don't. And this maybe you don't is why you don't sell. It's why you don't play the game. Just hold out. Wait for this drop to happen. It's coming. Make no mistake, it's coming. And then also, please don't get excited about something like this. You saw more volume come in than your last bit here, but you didn't go anywhere. You got stopped dead in your tracks. You were supposed to break out and continue, and you didn't. That's not a bullish thing, you guys. The 1 hour RSI, you got into the overbought zone, you're out of it now. To be fair, the RSI looks somewhat bullish, but it's the 1 hour. It's not that significant. This actually wouldn't object to going down here at all, because you'd still have higher lows. So you could drop all the way back down and maybe even further than that. The 4 hour RSI also looks pretty good, if I remember. It does. It looks pretty damn good, but you're finding resistance here where you found resistance before, where you found resistance here and here and here. You found resistance here a lot. Sometimes you do go actually a little bit higher, but you know, it's very common that you find resistance in this area on the RSI on the 4 hour as well. Okay, it's very likely that we go down. There was one last thing I was going to say, and I can't remember what it is. Oh yeah, don't get too excited about things that are blatantly not validating. I know that X.com, I was looking at X.com, there's a lot of people who are excited that the low is in. A lot of people are bullish. I'm actually wondering what does the crypto fear and greed index say? We're at a 22. We're still in fear. Okay, but we did jump from like an 18 to a 22. I'm sorry if you guys hear my daughter. She's being real loud, but she's just having fun. She's a silly little girl, but she's really sweet. I do think that we're going to go lower. Okay, the only way to invalidate that, the only way to make me think that we're going higher is to close above $90,800, really $91,000 on a daily basis. It's not enough to get there. I would definitely feel invalidated even if we were above 91K, but the day didn't close. But I need the day to close above 91K. All right, and then I can be inverse crypto czar. I can be clown C-Zar, and I'll be a happy clown watching all my bags and all your bags, lovers or haters. Everybody's going to make money, but it's not now. I think it's going to be soon. And if you're counting on the upside to happen and you're not prepared for the downside, you're really putting yourself at risk to sell the lows. Please don't sell the lows. None of what I say is financial advice. None of what I say is implying that I'm a financial advisor. But if I could say one thing at all, if I could make one recommendation, it's that you should not sell the lows. Please do not sell the lows. We are at the lows right now. We're at the relative lows. So that applies to here. That applies to there. Don't sell the lows, guys. Don't buy the highs. And you will find yourself in a better mood, probably. Okay? I got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.